with a collapse blocking both directions. In other news, during a press conference at an unofficial camp for the displaced near the Turkish border, relief workers in Syria's rebel-held Idlib province warned that a halt to vital cross-border aid would have a catastrophic effect. The warning comes just weeks ahead of a July 10 deadline for the UN Security Council to renew a resolution on humanitarian aid access to Syria's rebel-held northwest. Human Rights Watch warned in early June millions of people in Syria's opposition-held northwest risk losing life-saving assistance if a Russian veto at the UN closes the region's last aid crossing. The only way UN assistance can currently reach Syria's northwest is through Bab al-Hawa crossing on the Turkish border, where about 1,000 trucks enter monthly. In 2014, the UN Security Council allowed aid operations to cross at 4 points, but last year, after objections from Russia and China, this was reduced to just Bab al-Hawa. The resolution on humanitarian aid access to Syria expires on July 10 and is up for a Security Council vote before then. Moscow, which supports Damascus, says the UN mandate on the border violates Syria's sovereignty, and it has indicated it wants to close Bab al-Hawa when the current provision expires. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said in March that a Bab al-Hawa closure would halt the distribution of COVID-19 vaccines as well as food and medicine deliveries across the northwest. Much of the Idlib enclave is controlled by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, a jihadist organization that includes ex-members of Syria's former al-Qaeda franchise. It is home to more than 3 million people, half of whom have been displaced from other parts of the country. According to HRW, authorities in Damascus regularly obstruct aid deliveries from within Syria. Meanwhile, President of Mozambique, Philip Nyusi, addresses a summit of the Southern African Development Community aimed at discussing strategies to combat the jihadist insurgency in the north of Mozambique. Violence has escalated in the gas-rich Cabo Delgado province since breaking out in late 2017, and there are fears it could spill over into neighboring countries. He says Mozambique is conscious of and appreciates the solidarity and support of SADC member states and friendly countries that are joining efforts to prevent terrorism from finding fertile ground in the country and region. Countries in Southern Africa all agreed to deploy forces to help quell a bloody jihadist insurgency wreaking havoc in northern Mozambique over the past 3 years. At the end of one-day summit, the bloc's executive secretary, Stergomena Tax, says the Southern African Development Community, or SADC bloc, approved the deployment of the SADC standby force in support of Mozambique to combat terrorism and acts of violent extremism in Cabo Delgado. Tax did not give details of the strength or the timeline of the deployment. A document leaked earlier this year recommended sending around 3,000 soldiers to Cabo Delgado province, where insurgents have seized control of towns and villages, forcing hundreds of thousands to flee their homes. In Japan, exactly 1 month before the Tokyo Olympics begins, around 100 protesters gather in front of Tokyo City government buildings to show their opposition to the event. With the July 23 opening ceremony nearing, organizers are scrambling to finalize preparations and win over a skeptical public, pledging the games will be safe for locals and participants. Speaking to reporters, former athlete Hashimoto says a stripped-back games was a chance to refocus attention on the true values of the Olympics. Tokyo Olympic organizers unveiled tough new rules for spectators at the pandemic games. No alcohol, no hugs, no cheers, and no autographs. Tokyo Olympics President Seiko Hashimoto warns festivities will have to be suppressed to keep the games safe and conceded that organizers will need to be creative to stoke a party atmosphere. Games chiefs have decided to allow up to 10,000 spectators into competition venues, but Hashimoto warns them not to expect the kind of festival mood currently being enjoyed by football fans at Euro 2020. Spectators will need to clear several antivirus requirements, including temperature checks and mask wearing, just to get into venues, with no refunds available for those who cannot. Once inside, they are forbidden from cheering or making direct contact with other spectators and will be asked to go straight home after events end. Asking athletes for autographs or expressing verbal support is also a no-no, as is waving a towel or any form of cheering that could create a crowd. Russia warns of an explosive spread of the Delta coronavirus variant in the country that was made worse by a sluggish vaccination campaign, leading to rapidly rising infections and deaths. Citing increases in cases of coronavirus in all Russian regions, Deputy Prime Minister Tatiana Golikova calls for stronger restrictive measures and speeding up of inoculations as the country records thousands of new cases and hundreds of deaths every day. Golikova says last week the death rate linked to COVID increased by 21.3% compared to previous months. Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin, who has taken a leading role in Russia's response to the pandemic, says the situation has become explosive. He says more than 50,000 new infections had been recorded in the Russian capital, the epicenter of the country's outbreak, over the past 2 weeks, calling it a pandemic high. Sobyanin says the highly infectious Delta variant, which first appeared in India, represents nearly 90% of new cases in Moscow. Russia is among the countries hardest hit by the pandemic, with the sixth highest number of cases in the world. Prime Minister Naftali Bennett warns of a new outbreak of coronavirus in Israel after a rise in infections he says was likely due to returning travelers carrying the Delta variant. Bennett says the goal is to end it, to take a bucket of water and pour it on the fire when the fire is still small. Israel records 125 new cases on Monday, the most per day since April, in a country where more than half the population has been fully vaccinated. At the peak of the country's outbreak in January, Israel was recording some 10,000 daily cases. Bennett says an outbreak in the town of Binyamina, north of Tel Aviv, saw more than 1,000 people quarantined and appeared to be due to travelers returning from Cyprus. Israel remains largely closed to non-citizens. The country launches a sweeping vaccination campaign after obtaining millions of doses of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. More than 55% of Israel's population, some 5.2 million people, have received both doses of the vaccine. Back here in the country, a hospital spokeswoman says more than 150 employees at the Houston Methodist Hospital in Texas have been fired or have resigned after failing to comply with orders to get a COVID-19 vaccination to continue working there. Officials at Houston Methodist told its staff they needed to have received a COVID vaccination by June 7th or be suspended for 2 weeks. Hospital spokeswoman Gail Smith says 153 employees either resigned in the 2-week suspension period or were terminated today. She says, and I quote, "The employees who became compliant during the suspension period returned to work the day after they became compliant." Last month, 117 staff members filed a lawsuit against the hospital, accusing it of forcing its employees to be human guinea pigs as a condition for continued employment. The lawsuit has been dismissed by a judge who says the vaccine safety is not at issue and that Texas law only protects employees from refusing to commit a crime. Judge Lynn Hughes writes, receiving a COVID-19 vaccination is not an illegal act and it carries no criminal penalties. The judge also reprimands one of the main plaintiffs behind the lawsuit, Nurse Jennifer Bridges, for the analogy that the threat of being fired for not getting vaccinated was like forced medical experimentation during the Holocaust. Hughes writes, equating the injection requirement to medical experimentation in concentration camps is reprehensible. But Bridges, who was one of the staff to have lost their job in the protest, says their legal push was receiving more support.
We have gained so much support and help throughout not only our country, but throughout the whole entire world. People around our nation and other countries are reaching out to help us and support us and give us information because they all want us to win. They feel if we win, it can set a precedent and set the standard. So hopefully they won't have to experience the same thing because a lot of people across the world are not comfortable with taking the shot.
For today's COVID-19 numbers, according to the Coronavirus Resource Center of Johns Hopkins University in Medicine, as of 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday, June 23rd, the number of cases of COVID-19 reported worldwide is now over 179,281,000. Top 3 on the list of countries with recorded cases: U.S. has more than 33.5 million, India more than 30 million, Brazil with more than 18 million. This virus has now claimed more than 3,884,000 lives worldwide. Top 3 countries with the most number of COVID-19 related deaths are US over 602,000, Brazil with over 504,000, India with over 390,000. Total vaccine doses administered worldwide are now at 2,720,896,000. Up next, updates from New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Eagle News America will return in a moment. Stay with us.
This program is supported by China Bank. Your success is our business.
Welcome back. You are watching Eagle News America. In New Jersey, relief continues for small businesses in the state. This time, it's at $235 million. EBC's Mayan Manzano-Grazon tells us more. Mayan.
Thank you, Ace. New Jersey continues to recover from the ravages of the COVID-19 pandemic. Governor Phil Murphy today signed 6 bills which provide additional aid to small businesses that continue to suffer from the economic effects of the pandemic. Together, the bill package provides $235 million to small businesses throughout the state, allowing the New Jersey Economic Development Authority, or NJEDA, to fulfill all eligible applications submitted during the Phase 4 of the EDA Small Business Emergency Grant Program. Take a look.
So in just a couple of minutes, I'm going to have the distinct honor of signing a series of bills which, added together, will invest a total of $235 million in our state's small businesses and nonprofit organizations. Over the past year, through the great efforts of Tim and his team at the EDA and Vin and Roy and their colleagues in the legislature, and thanks to our congressional representatives to deliver much needed federal assistance, we have already put hundreds of millions of dollars to work to support our downtowns and our small businesses, and through them, our communities and countless residents. And Rena, we're thrilled to be here announcing this today and helping you out. Today only further deepens our commitment, a commitment that will now total more than $600 million. Whether they're just opening their doors or, like Windmill, have been a part of New Jersey's landscape for generations, our small businesses have always been the backbone, not just of the local economies in our state, but of our state's overall economy. More New Jerseyans work for small businesses than anywhere else. Their success drives our success. So real quickly, in the interest of weather, here's how all this breaks down. Through the actions today, $120 million to our smallest small businesses. Those are 5 or fewer employees, epitomized by mom and pop shops. $10 million to further support our child care providers so more folks can get back to work without worry, especially now that schools are ending summer vacations. $20 million for our dining establishments, which are such a part of our state's identity and culture. $50 million to help our nonprofit community, which has stood so tall this past year to help folks in need right in their backyards. $25 million to benefit startup small businesses and nonprofit organizations, the folks swinging the sign on the door to open for the very first time, and $10 million to continue the tremendous work of the EDA's incredible Sustain and Serve NJ program.
For New Jersey's latest COVID-19 numbers, the Department of Health has reported another 231 new positive cases today, bringing our statewide total to 891,840. Positivity rate is 1.30%, and rate of transmission is 0.99. Sadly, we are also reporting 10 new confirmed deaths, pushing the total to 23,712 fatalities. On the brighter side, the latest total of fully vaccinated individuals in New Jersey is now 4,843,934. To know the latest on New Jersey's vaccination progress, visit covid19.nj.gov/vaccine. And Ace, for a quick weather update, it's partly cloudy here in New Jersey. It is 61 degrees Fahrenheit, or 16 degrees Celsius. In Sicklerville, New Jersey, May and Manzano Garzon, Eagle News, we live in interesting times. Back to you, Ace.
It's slightly a bit cold for the start of summer, don't you think?
Right. I prefer it this way, Ace. Sometimes summer gets very extreme.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Might as well enjoy it now, right? Okay, so before we let you go, May Ann, who are the sponsors of the said bills in the Senate?
Ace, in the Senate, the bills were sponsored by Senators Don Maria Diego, Vin Gopal, and Joseph Lagana. Ace?
And how will the funding be administered?
Ace, the funding will be administered by the NJEDA, the Economic Development Authority of New Jersey, which has reopened its Phase 4 grant pre-application for those businesses that missed the original deadline. And to date, the EDA has distributed more than $420 million in aid to some 63,000 businesses across the New Jersey state. Ace?
I see. Thank you so much, May Ann Manzano Garzon, Sicklerville, New Jersey.
Thank you, Ace.
In Pennsylvania, students are provided access to healthy meals, even though school is out this summer. To tell us more about this program, Bureau Chief Myla Simbulan is with us tonight. Myla.
Thanks, Ace. That's right. Pennsylvania Department of Education Secretary Noe Ortega visited Spring Grove Area Middle School to help food and nutrition staff package and distribute free meals to approximately 300 students and families via the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Seamless Summer Option, or SSO, meal program. Let's take a look.
What a pleasure to be out here with the staff, everyone kind of coming together to make sure that they provide students with the lunch. It's been phenomenal. It's been challenging. I can tell you one thing, they work very hard to make sure that they get these meals out, but it's important because I think each one of them has expressed the importance of making sure that every child is fed in order for them to continue to just grow, be active, and continue to learn.
The USDA Seamless Summer Option allows for all children 18 and under to have access to 2 meals a day at no charge. Many families across the Commonwealth can rely on school meals throughout the school year because of the cost and the convenience. During the pandemic, the need for food nutrition programs was amplified due to economic strain. Programs like the SSO are in place to protect and promote nutrition for all students. A total of 119,382,201 meals have been distributed through the SSO and the Summer Food Service Program between July 2020 through March 2021. The Spring Grove Area School District decided to use the Seamless Summer option at the start of the pandemic to ensure a smooth transition from the National School Lunch Program, which was familiar to local students and their families. Here's George Ionidas, Superintendent Spring Grove of Area School District. Take a look.
We're very excited to be able to offer meals for our students, breakfast and lunch, on Mondays and Wednesdays. We have a tremendous team of nutrition services staff who come in and work to prepare, assemble the packets, and our families drive by in the middle of the day to pick up their meals. And we're excited that many of them will help their neighbors out. They will volunteer to pick up for multiple households. So we feel good that they're able to get the meals delivered to our students that need them and fill their nutrition needs as well as their educational programming over the summer.
Summer meal programs are important because hunger, growth, and learning are experienced year-round, not just during the school year. Children will continue to grow and learn, and schools and community organizations are in place to support their growth and learning through nutritious food. Right now, ACE in Swarthmore is 71 degrees Fahrenheit or 21.6 degrees Celsius with clear skies. In Swarthmore, Pennsylvania, Myla Zumbulan, Eagle News, we live in interesting times. Back to you, ACE.
Thank you, Myla. Okay, tell us more about the Seamless Summer Option Program.
So ACE, the Seamless Summer Option, or what they call SSO, it provides meals to children when school is not in session. Only those schools that participate in the school nutrition program are eligible to operate under the SSO program during the summer. This is funded by the United States Department for Agriculture, or USDA. And the SSO combines features. It's a combination of the features of the National School Lunch Program, or what they call NSLP, and the School Breakfast Program, and the Summer Food Service Program. ACE?
I see. So school or no school, healthy meals for students.
Exactly, yes.
So where can residents find summer meal distribution sites for their children?
So there's a website. If you want to find a local distribution sites for your children, there's on USDA.gov/meals for kids. So just go to that website and you will find all those distribution sites. You just put your zip code or your city and state, and you'll find some options out there. ACE?
Is this program all over Pennsylvania? How about in your area? Does your school district offer the summer meal program?
Our school district, I checked the website. They do offer summer meal programs, but it's not under SSO. It's just the regular summer meal program. And just like the Spring Grove School District, what you have to do in my school district is you have to sign up by Monday. And every Wednesday, you can pick up your free food, and then as long as you sign up first on a Monday, so that they can put it together and then give it to you on Monday afternoon. So that's how they organize this summer meal program. Okay?
So students will never go hungry.
Exactly. Yes.
Thank you so much, Myla Zumbulan, Swarthmore, Pennsylvania.
Thank you, Ace.
When we come back, live reports from Ohio and California. Eagle News America will be right back.
Innovation, digital disruption, globalization. Startups, micro, small, and medium enterprises, as well as large corporations, all face interesting challenges in the market today. Peek into the world of exciting opportunities and partnerships to drive growth with the latest business news and information. We are open for business.
Your weekly dose of entrepreneurial inspiration.
To update you on the latest developments in the world of business. Get up close and personal with CEOs and thought leaders. To help you discover valuable insights, sharpen your instincts for smart decision making with the latest markets and economic trends, disruptive ideas, global innovation,
social entrepreneurship,
and other leading-edge business ideas. Join the conversations to create a more vibrant environment for entrepreneurship. Catch Open for Business, from vision to action.
Events happen around us all the time, in our community, in our country, around the world. Events that affect people, move communities, or simply inspire us. Interesting events that people need to know. In these interesting times, we continue to be a competent partner in delivering news about these events. Fast, accurate, balanced. Eagle News, because we live in interesting times.
Welcome back. You're watching Eagle News America. In an effort to keep Ohioans working in and for Ohio, the Dwayne-Husted administration champions several programs accessible to job seekers in the state. Eagle News correspondent Rani Bayuga is with us this evening with the details. Rani.
Thank you, Ace. Ohio Governor DeWine and Lieutenant Governor John Husted are hard at work working on Ohio's economic recovery. Lieutenant Governor Husted says the state needs to attract, retain, and train talents here in Ohio, and Innovate Ohio is core to accomplishing this. Lieutenant Governor John Husted is the founder and first director of Innovate Ohio, which was established in 2019. Innovate Ohio priorities include Ohio Broadband Strategy, Cyber Ohio, Ohio Opportunity Zones, Ohio IP Promise, Innovate Ohio Platform, Data Ohio, Portal, Telehealth, and Schools Blueprint. Innovate Ohio utilizes all advancement in technology to improve services, reduce costs, and promote culture of innovation. Lieutenant Governor John Husted is still working on his affordable internet service for Ohio. He is pushing to have internet access available and affordable to all Ohioans. Among other projects, Apprentice Ohio is now showing that over 19,000 Ohioans are enrolled for many apprentice programs, thus keeping Ohio students in the state by getting them jobs here. It has been a busy week for John Husted. Governor Mike DeWine announces the launch of Skills Match, a new innovative program that at OhioMeansJobs.com, where job seekers will be matched with potential employment based on the information they provide on their resumes. According to Lieutenant Governor John Husted, Skills Match will even show job seekers their skills, which are missing from their resume based on keywords in job postings on the site, giving them the opportunity to improve and update their resume so they can have a better chance of matching with the kind of positions they are seeking. This service is free for both job seekers and employers. There are currently over 189,000 jobs paying at least $50,000 annually available to be filled here in Ohio. With skill match program, it shouldn't be hard to place qualified job seekers to their desired jobs. It is innovative projects like these that also attract other companies to invest in Ohio. Projects like TechCred and other educational programs are at the heart of projects that keep Ohio at the forefront by providing highly skilled and educated workforce. And in other news, Ohio COVID update. There are now 46.4% of Ohioans that are vaccinated. And that means 5,423,850 Ohioans who have received at least one shot of the vaccine. And the key indicators show that there are now 1,109,697 confirmed cases of COVID-19. And in the last 24 hours, 323 were added. And hospitalizations at 60,352 and total deaths at 20,213. In the last 24 hours, 0 were added. It is currently partly cloudy at 70 degrees Fahrenheit or 21 degrees Celsius here in Perrysburg, Ohio, and we will be expecting rain later tonight. In Perrysburg, Ohio, Ronnie Bayuga, Eagle News. We live in interesting times. Back to you, Ace.
Thank you, Randy. Tell us more about the Innovate Ohio. It sounds like a huge project. What are the more interesting projects that Innovate Ohio is doing?
Well, one of the things that they did was the ones they established this actually as soon as Governor DeWine was sworn in. They created Innovate Ohio and made all the government websites and other IT type requirements. They all put them in the same cloud now, basically, and they provide security and everything. So it's been an interesting transformation, and they've been doing all kinds of things like automating a lot of the BMV stuff, and you are now able to go online for certain things and be able to, as a consumer, you are now able to access all their services in a better way. So some of the things are really cool.
Okay, so making it more accessible to
more accessible, more transparent in the long run, according to them.
Okay, but how have Innovate Ohio projects taken advantage of the technology?
So like for instance, these dashboards for COVID-19, those are hosted in Innovate Ohio. Also, the voting, the secured voting that we had last year, that was also hosted in Innovate Ohio. So this technology, they're actually doing very well with it.
I see. Okay. Well, we can't let you go without asking you about the Vaxamillion winners.
The final winners. Now, these are the last winners, and I'm not one of them. So sad. But Esperanza Diaz from Cincinnati won the $1 million prize, and Sydney Dayum of Brecksville won the free ride for her school. So it's now done.
Well, congratulations to the winners, and thank you so much, Randy Bayuga, Perrysburg, Ohio.
Thank you.
The 4th of July holiday is only a few days away, and as Los Angeles gears up for the celebrations, the city attorney is adamant in stopping sale and use of illegal fireworks. Eagle News correspondent Julian Fiesta tells us more of the many reasons why these explosive displays are not a good idea. Julian.
Thank you, Ace. Los Angeles City Attorney Mike Buer is taking action to suppress online sales of fireworks as part of the city's current efforts to crack down on illegal fireworks with the approaching 4th of July holiday. City Attorney Buer states it's illegal to sell or possess fireworks in LA for good reason. Fireworks pose the very real risk of injuries, and our fire danger is acutely high given the ongoing drought. In addition, the loud, sudden noise can be triggering for veterans and survivors of gun violence with PTSD and awful for families with special needs children and for pets. The City Attorney's Consumer Protection Unit is on these cases and comprises of Supervising Deputy City Attorney Christina Tucson, Deputy City Attorney Car Tukoski, Investigator Frank Capetillo, Administrative Coordinator Anna Johnson, and Summer Law Clerks Aaron Couvers and Armand Avanis Agajani. The unit has already issued cease and desist letters to these 4 leading online platforms: Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, OfferUp, and 5 Miles. The notices inform these corporations that they were violating municipal and state laws by allowing the postings of fireworks sales and offers in the city of Los Angeles. In addition, these leading online platforms have been instructed to immediately remove all advertisements and postings of fireworks sales in the city of Los Angeles in order for them to comply with the law. The Los Angeles Municipal Code Section 57.5608.1.2 says it is an unlawful and a misdemeanor to use, sell, possess, or discharge any fireworks in the city of Los Angeles. Such sales also are often made in violation of the platform's own policies prohibiting the sale of fireworks. All 4 online platforms are cooperating and agree to take down all advertising posts of fireworks sales within the boundaries of the city. In addition, OfferUp also takes further action by increasing staff to monitor future postings, making sure this situation is not repeated. City Attorney Viewer further asserts Angelino should leave fireworks to the pros. And with pandemic restrictions easing there will be many spectacular 4th of July events throughout Southern California. In Delano, California, Julian Fiesta, Eagle News, we live in interesting times. Back to you, Ace.
Thank you so much, Julian. Question. Okay, I'm from LA, and I bought $2,000 worth of illegal fireworks from Craigslist. What am I going to do?
So, Ace, Angelenos can turn over illegal fireworks to the Los Angeles Police Department or LAPD without penalty. Los Angeles residents can dial 877-ASK-LAPD for assistance and guidance on this. Ace?
So the $2,000 is down the drain.
You shouldn't have done it in the first place.
That's a good point. All right. Well, from your personal experience, how serious was it last year that prompted the city attorney's office to take action again?
Ace, even though we were on pandemic restrictions last year, many Angelenos still got a hold of illegal fireworks, and the proof was right before our eyes and ears. Many residents put on a fireworks show for their neighborhoods, although it was illegal. It was not a professional display, but since there were so many lighting up the night sky, reports and complaints flooded in, prompting the LAPD to issue instructions to residents to not use the 911 emergency line to report illegal fireworks unless there was an actual emergency, like a fire or someone's life was in danger. Ace?
That's right. But that's a good point. But I'm one of those who get mesmerized when I see fireworks, jaw-dropping, all that colorful lights in the sky. But for those who might not know, how do fireworks affect our pets, our dogs, our cats? How do they affect them?
Yeah, so Ace, the loud bangs from these fireworks will scare anyone, most especially our pet dogs and cats, so they will leave their homes or backyards to look for a place they feel as being safe for them, as many are often reported missing during the 4th of July than any other holiday during the year, according to the Los Angeles Animal Services. So the reminders for pet owners are to make sure that all pets have updated identification cards and keep them indoors as much as possible during this time, or if outside, on a leash or at a secured fenced area. Ace?
I see. Good to know. Thank you so much, Julian Fiesta from Delano, California.
Thank you.
Since 2005, every last Thursday in June, the National Handshake Day has been observed. Okay, Miriam Roddy of Brody Professional Development and founder of this National Day says a handshake is a gesture key to first impressions and relationships. Handshakes have been studied to reveal certain traits of people. According to WebMD.com, researchers conclude a firm handshake was related positively to extroversion and emotional expressiveness, and negatively to shyness and neuroticism. A firm handshake was also positively related to openness to experience, but only for women. Handshake characteristics jived with the impressions of the researchers. According to ediva.com, sweaty palms, that means the person is nervous. Dead fish or no energy, no shake, or limp, that's low self-esteem. Brush off or a quick grasp and then release, it's like shy or afraid of germs. It's my turf, my agenda matters, it's not yours. Two-handed, that means warm, friendly, and honest. A controller, hand pulled toward the person. We know a prominent person who does that, a political person who does that internationally. And that means dominant or trying to dominate the other person shaking hands with. Finger vise, grabs fingers, not hand, keep you at a distance, insecure, or a bone crusher designed to intimidate, and a lot more. Let's ask our team, what kind or type of handshake do you do? Let's start with Rani. Rani, I see you're a firm shaker.
Usually just a firm handshake. No pulling, no crushing.
But during the pandemic, how do you shake hands?
Elbow bump.
Nice by CDC. How about you,
But
Myla?
it is kind of weird.
It's true. It is kind of weird. Myla, how about you?
I don't know when was the last time I had a handshake, but because of the pandemic. So what I usually do is just do hi. I don't even do this. I'm not good at doing that. The fist bump, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Usually just do the hi from the air.
I see. Julian, what type of handshake do you do?
So same as Mila. Sometimes I do a hi. Sometimes with the younger generation, I'll do a fist bump or maybe just a peace sign from afar.
Well, pandemic.
Sorry?
Pre-pandemic, what would you do?
Pre-pandemic, usually if I don't know them well, I'd give a handshake. If I knew them well, I do like to give hugs. So once everything is okay, hopefully soon we can all meet, give you guys a big hug.
Oh, you're a hugger. Okay. How about you, May Ann? Share
Well,
with us.
Ace, yes. Pre-pandemic, I'm a hugger too, and I'm a fan of a firm handshake. But now during this pandemic, like Julianne, with the younger generation, I do a fist bump, and for the not so young ones and for a more formal setting, I do the elbow tap. Ace, how about you?
Yeah, well, pre-pandemic, I would go for a very firm handshake, especially in professional settings. But nowadays, I would settle for a fist bump or a tap, a foot tap. Yeah, I've
yet to try that.
I'm playing volleyball, instead of high-fiving or doing that, we do foot tap. Anyways, before we end our show, we remember to thank our frontline workers, first responders, and essential workers with a round of applause. That is today's Eagle News America. I'm Ace Ramirez. Thank you for joining us. We live in interesting times.